I'm very thankful. Susan DeGuide is amazing, such an amazing physician who's my primary care doctor. I think a lot of people feel like they can't go to their doctor and say that you're feeling run down. And my physician was fantastic. I sat down. I said, this is what's going on. We drew some labs. We investigated. We were thorough. And we found out I have cancer.
Wow. Again, talking with Casey, the intern, and we talked about this. You've known about this for now about 3 weeks. We just tried to figure out if we were going to talk about it on air. You said you would like to let people know.
I would. I just wasn't quite ready, last week. It's so much to digest.
Right.
But don't you kind of feel like with your diagnosis, I know we do have such a lighthearted show, and I think this is probably such a heavy topic to hear us talk about. But I kind of feel like when you're in this kind of position and you have a radio show, that you do have a responsibility and the ability to have this platform to educate people. And even though it's deeply personal, my heart goes out to anybody who's ever heard that they have cancer or that they have a loved one who's had a diagnosis like this, or knowing you and what you've gone through. I was up at the hospital shortly after you found out about your congestive heart failure, and I'll never forget what your face looked like and that you share in those moments. But I think that you do have a responsibility to try and be open about these things. This is what we're here to do.
Casey, one of the things, and I think the biggest, there's a lot of differences, but between you and I, you're in your early 30s. I'm way past that. And, it's words you just don't want to hear. And it's so scary to hear that. And maybe in the next few weeks, we'll get your oncology here with us. I want to talk about that to educate people, that cancer, when you hear it, is not really a sentence of death. What it is there are so many things they're doing right now to work with that. But we have all got to be aware of it. And, cancer is one of those things that touches everyone.
There is not a single person out there
of anybody
that hasn't been affected by a cousin, an aunt, an uncle, a child, a grandparent, a neighbor. And we're living in times where we're fortunate.
Does this mean I'm going to have to be in that walk for a cure?
Yes, you are going to be part of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society walk with me, because I will be having a team, and I expect it to be the biggest team out there. And I think we have to be thankful that we live today. 13 years ago was the first medication to treat this chronic myelogenous leukemia. And now there's 4 or 5 different medications to help treat it. You go to the Swedish American Regional Cancer Care Center, and I want to say I am not being paid by them. They did not ask me to come in and say any of this. This is truly where I go for my care. My wonderful doctor, as I mentioned, is Dr. Mardini. Wonderful, fabulous people, state-of-the-art equipment, completely efficient, quick appointment times. You just feel blessed that you have access to good healthcare, and we have access to great healthcare all over the city of Rockford.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more. You're listening to 100.5 NTA FM.
100.5 NTA FM.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dean Irvin, along with Casey, the intern. And Casey, thank you so much for letting people know. Obviously, if there is things we can do, we're going to do it, and we're in this together. So, again, not a word you ever want to hear. A lot of people have heard the same words. And
I'm sure their reaction was just like mine. It's like the wind just goes out of your body, and I think you see your life just flash in front of you. But the good news is I have a great prognosis, wonderful team at Swedes to help get me through this, wonderful support system, not only with my family, my friends, my job, but also my Midwest Family Broadcasting group here, who has been amazing in reaching out. And as the listener, Terry, called in and said, I need everybody to say a prayer for me and anyone else affected by this.
Absolutely. And that's something we can all do. And, we will keep you updated.
And I think it's a good idea. Maybe once a month. I've learned so many different resources that are available. Healing Pathways, which is a cancer resource center that does amazing things, on a no fee for service basis for people who are suffering. to talk about social work, see if my Dr. Mardini would come on and
we'll get him
speak
on.
about things. I think that would be a great idea.
Absolutely. John's on the line. John, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I just wanted to tell Casey, I'm a respiratory therapist, and I've worked in healthcare since the 70s. And one thing I think we do backwards is we think that all I can do is say a prayer for you, but that's the most we can do, because God is so big and we're so small. And I'll be praying for you every day, Casey, in the morning when I pray for all the people I take care of.
Thank you so much. And that is true, because I think that the sad thing about getting a cancer diagnosis is you do sort of feel like your world slips out from underneath you, and there is no control that anybody has over this. And I think the power of prayer is amazing. And so far, it's helped me tremendously the past couple of weeks. And I will take all the prayers you can give me, and that's the most you can do for me. And I'm grateful for that. So thank you.
Yeah, you'll be surprised the people who you'll never know are praying for you. The people in the hallways, the people in the... It's amazing group of people that take care of people.
Yep. John, thank you.
Thank
and thank
you,
you all
John.
that you do. We appreciate it. Thank you, buddy. All right. So, again, not news we normally want to, hit you with on the way home on a Friday afternoon, but something we really needed to talk about and let people know.
And we'll come back after the news in a little while, and we'll get back to having some fun and games. I mean, if anybody has any questions, you can certainly call in. I'm happy to speak about everything in my experience. If you have an experience you want to share.
Does this mean you're not going to stand and do things outside for me anymore?
Well, maybe just not right now. Give me a little bit of a break. So make sure you stay tuned right here to 100.5 NTA FM, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
After this.
100.5 NTA FM.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Casey, the intern.
And yours truly, Dean Irvin. Good to be with all of you. Again, we want to thank everybody for calling in. We do want to thank Swedish American, everybody that is involved with Swedish American. They do an absolutely wonderful job. A good friend of mine who is actually on the board, he's the president of Alpine Bank, Bill Roop, I know, does a lot of things for Swedish American and puts a lot of time in. And Casey, you are in the absolute best hands that you can be, that's for sure.
And I believe that with all my heart. I mean, you talk about a cutting edge facility with great state of the art equipment.
Yep.
But the other day I had to go in and get, life of a cancer patient, all these labs drawn all the time, all this testing and all these conversations in the beginning. So I went in the other day to have an EKG done on Monday.
Yeah.
And it's great. You pull up, they valet your car for you. It's just such a seamless thing. And in through the doors I walk, and there's this beautiful yellow lab dog.
Oh, nice.
There. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird. Maybe it's some kind of service dog or something like that. Nope. There was a big sign that said therapy dog today from 1:30 to 3:30.
Very nice. There you go.
And I mean, I got down on my knees along with all the people there who don't have any hair and are really struggling and look unwell. And, for a brief moment, you do forget about everything. And I just pet that little dog, Maria, until it probably wanted me to go away. So they do a lot of great things for the patients.
Usually when I pull up at one of the, facilities, they ask me to park about 3 blocks away.
Actually, the way you look tonight, I'm surprised that they're like, you are the valet person, because Dean's got this little winter cap on too. It's a little more stylish than Bill's.
Thank you. I hope so.
Yeah, and thanks for the kind words, EJ, too. I appreciate you calling in during the break.
Hey, Kurt is up next. Hey, Kurt, how you doing?
Hey, good afternoon, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Hey, Casey, I want to give you some hope. 25 years ago, my brother Scott was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I had a coworker take me aside, and he taught me about the power of prayer and everything. And we got my brother Scott on hundreds of prayer chains throughout the entire country, and he's still with us. He's cancer-free 25 years later.
God bless him. Good for him.
Fantastic. Good
That's
for
awesome.
Scott. Thank you, Kurt, for sharing that.
Thank you, buddy.
So, all right.
All right, thank you. And again, it touches everybody. What we and down the road, we're going to do some things, and, we'll have your Casey team.
Yep, Team Casey.
And we'll make some things happen. And we got to get your doctor in.
Absolutely.
We'll talk to him, let him take some phone calls.
I'm a big fan of that guy. I have to say, I think when you have an oncologist, especially one for me, I mean, this is a lifelong, this is not going away in 3 months or 6 months. I mean, it is forever. And although the prognosis is good, being teamed up with someone who listens to you, who comforts you, who gives you the diagnosis the way that you need to hear it, but pauses when...
Are you talking about me or your doctor?
I'm talking about Dr. Mardini.
Okay, I didn't know. Because if it was me, I was going to say thank you.
It wouldn't be so nice if I was talking about you. But delivers difficult news to someone sitting there next to her family. And I started to well up with tears, and, he pauses and he brings you a Kleenex. And I mean, those are special people that have to do some of the saddest work. And he is just, if I could have hand created a doctor for me, who is going to be there for me on this journey, I could not have picked anybody than Dr. Mardini. He is my hero. I am grateful. There is never going to be enough thanks when, we kind of get the show on the road a little more, to just thank him for what he's done for me.
That's very cool. Mm-hmm. And you got to feel good about that. Just stay positive, and
you bet.
That's the real key to it. And, and Casey is a positive person. She's going to do that. Yep. I know that's going to happen.
We laugh a lot, and we talk, geez, if my hair falls out, then,
I'll give you my hat.
Yeah.
Or Bill can give you his.
Well, whatever. I was actually, I was kind of hoping Doug McDuff would call in and just maybe offer up, some of his hair pieces around or something.
We can do this together.
You bet.
Maybe, if yours does fall out, I'll shave my head too.
Oh, that would be a big, far stretch for you there.
Thank you. I don't mind doing that.
Maybe you can let me wear your hat.
Because you are my intern. Howard, I'm willing to do it. All these beautiful locks will be gone. I will do that.
We talk about how long we've been co-hosting this show. I mean, I think we're going on almost 4 years that we've been doing this together. And, boy, I can tell you love me more today than you did that first time I was on the show.
Absolutely. I let you do things for me. And tonight, I'm not going to have you go and scrape my car. If you just start it till it gets warm, that would be wonderful.
And then just pull it up, so all you have to do is step off the sidewalk right into it.
Okay. I don't want to get chilled out there.
Okay. I'm going to have to get an intern to start doing some of that stuff for me.
Absolutely. Maybe a nummy can do that.
Yeah, right.
Because we'll make that happen.
You know what he's doing? He's looking at himself in the mirror with that Navy cap on.
Oh, yeah, and thinking he's really got something going there.
Yep.
Thinking. And boy, does he have something going there.
Uh-huh.
He sure does. So a lot of things going on around the state line area. Casey, what do we have going on this weekend?
Well, I like to lead off with all